All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is as close as we're going to get to a sneak peek, but we have a lot of new information posted via the November update preparation event and pre-notices for Timeline Battle and Team Battle Arena. So it seems like they're going to be tinkering with PvP as well in next week's upcoming Epic Quest update. Additionally, they are giving us the first bit of information and news on the Collector's Hall. This is going to start on Friday on Halloween, and it is in addition to the Collector's Vault. So the data miner recently found the Collector's Vault, and there was just a personal vault for the 4-star, 5-star artifact of one designated character. And it's right here. It's the Collector's Vault, and it's going to start one day before. And now the Collector's Vault, which we normally had it as a different Collector's Vault, is just going to be for the personal artifact so that people don't get confused. Differently from that, separately from that, you have the Collector's Hall, which is the new event that was shown in the live stream like a month and change ago with 3RL. And that is where you can use the Collector's Hall, and you can use the tickets that you have been farming from Dispatch and Dimension missions. So by now you probably have at least a few of these. These are the Collector's Chest tickets for the Collector's Hall. They're not going to work in the Collector's Vault, because the Collector's Vault is now just the personal vault where you spend 5,000 gold and you get a bunch of stuff, and you get guaranteed the 4-star artifact of the designated character, and you have a chance of getting the 5-star version of their artifact as well. The Collector's Hall, on the other hand, it's still going to be a 3-day event, but it's basically like a lottery. So you can see that these tickets are like lottery tickets, and you can also purchase additional lottery tickets, a maximum of 1,000 with gold. With a cost of 10,000 gold per ticket, you can purchase a maximum of 10 million gold worth of tickets. And then at the end, they tabulate, and they basically choose someone random, right, based on all of the tickets that are available. They just pluck someone's name out, pluck someone's ticket out, and then boom, that person wins the 6-star artifact. That person wins the CTP of Veteran. That is what this Collector's Hall is about. And we have some additional information now that when you open these chests, they will also give you these tickets. So it doesn't mean to say that you can like endlessly farm them, because the chests are only opened, I believe, at the end of the event, but it means you can use them for the next event. Additionally, you will also get, you can see here in the Collector's Chest acquisition list, Tier 2, Tier 3 growth materials, 2, 3, and 6-star versions of various gears like Uru and obelisks and stuff, normal and mega upgrade tickets, and then the Collector's Chest tickets. So remember how we were lamenting in the old Collector's Vault, you'd get a bunch of like small bubblegum rewards, materials, resources that you could use later on, and we were losing those. Well, we're not losing them. They're coming back. So yeah, the Collector's Hall is just a way better version of the Collector's Vault, because of all of these improvements, because of the fact that there's no longer lag or input delay. There's no longer advantages to being closer to the servers or disadvantages to being further away. Yeah, it's way better. It's way better. So that's the Collector's Hall, and we'll see that on Friday. But yes, it is coming to the game, and if it continues this schedule pattern, it should land at the end of an update right before the next update. And then at the bottom here, because that stuff is just mostly, usual stuff or whatever, we have the following. Agents, we invite you to a dimension of heroes worshipped by humankind. So this is the first clue. This is sort of the first sneak peek of the next update, which is also going to be an epic quest. Now, a lot of people still think that it's going to be Squadron Supreme, and I think that's a good idea. That's kind of a good, clue. I don't know, obviously, but yeah, a dimension of heroes worshipped by humankind, or like a dimension where the heroes are worshipped. And yeah, the Squadron Supreme is kind of worshipped by the people in the dimensions or in the versions of the MCU, or not MCU, but like in the versions of the universe that they are in, because obviously they're a replacement for the Avengers. They're a replacement for these more common, more popular, more stereotypical heroes. These are kind of like, these are the B-list, the C-list, the D-listers kind of thing. And that's more about popularity than skill set or anything like that. But anyways, Squadron Supreme is a really, I think, is a really solid guess. Basically what I'm trying to say is I think Squadron Supreme, the speculation about Squadron Supreme still fits with this sneak peek. This sneak peek doesn't exclude the Squadron Supreme. However, some people, I'll just take the forum posts because they're actually tame for once. The forum posts also detail the Olympians like Hercules, Zeus, Hera, Ares. And we already have Ares in the game, right? We already have the god of war, and we've been asking for Hercules for a long time, or Heracles. And we know that Marvel Contest of Champions already has Hercules. There's a bunch of other gods. If you've ever played Hades, or if you've ever read any classical mythology, you're very familiar. Yeah, that would be pretty cool too, because of course we know that the Olympians, those gods, are also absolutely worshipped by humanity, by humankind. So I still think it's going to be Squadron Supreme. I think it's like a 90-95% chance it's Squadron Supreme, mainly because the Olympians are much less well known. Like when I said that when we said earlier in the video that the Squadron Supreme were like B, C, D listers, the Olympians are like F listers. They're more popular in like generic pop culture, right? But we're talking about Marvel-focused pop culture, in which case, yeah, the Squadron Supreme would be more popular than the Olympians. And so I think there's a smaller chance that we get the Olympians, but I still think it's a pretty cool suggestion. I gotta give it up to the forum people. I don't know, it's Bizarro Day today that I'm complimenting the forum people. They're like mutants that live under the sewers, like in Futurama. And we're like, not them, but they can have good ideas. Anyways, yeah, Squadron Supreme or Olympians. I cannot wait for the first sneak peek. Either way, I think it's going to be a banger update. We're going to get new characters. Hopefully, we're going to get some, well, definitely going to get some new tier 4s. Hopefully, we get some meta shifters as well. Should be quite nice. Additionally, if that wasn't enough, we also have some tinkerings with Timeline Battle. So this may be the most consequential change in the update, even though we haven't even seen the patch notes, because in the upcoming update, they're going to reduce, presumably permanently reduce, the entry count of Timeline Battle and Team Battle Arena. Now, they got to be careful here because they have to double the rewards. They have to double the token rewards to offset the fact that we're only playing 5 times instead of 10 times. That's my only worry. That's genuinely my only worry. But this should be a really good change, basically for everyone, because it means you're only going to have to do 5 timeline battles per day from this update on for the rest of the existence of the game. And you're only going to have to do 5 team battle arenas instead of 10. Additionally, this means that you're going to get less bang for your buck when you refresh, because refreshing is only going to give you an extra 5 rather than giving you an extra 10. Now, I understand that it's still the same, like the numbers are still the same. It's 5 and 5 versus 10 and 10. But the difference here is that you're not going to get as many points from refreshing. So this is kind of, it's a bit of a weird argument, and I might be wrong mathematically. I don't know, but I kind of feel it in my heart. That's genuinely my explanation for what I mean here. And what I mean is, like, when you refresh and you get 10 refreshes, if you take a look here, okay, let's look at my win record, and you can see here that I'm getting on average 50 points. So if I were to refresh right now, and I get 10 wins and I get 50 points, I get about 500 points. So if I can get 500 points right now from where I am, that's going to catapult me to around 3rd place, because 500 plus 17 is 23. So I'm going to get about 3rd place, 4th place. Hey, that's pretty good. However, with the system that they're going to be implementing come the next update, from the next update on, not from like tomorrow, you're only going to get 5 refreshes. Right? When you refresh, you only get 5 attacks, not you only get 5 refreshes. You only get 5 attacks when you refresh, which means if I'm still getting 50 points, because presumably they're not going to tinker with the point system. The point system is fine. There's nothing wrong with the point system. Then I'm going to refresh. I'm only going to get 250 points. Right? Now, these scores that players have right now would be different because these players have refreshed. As you can see, you got 50 attacks already, right? You got 40 attacks, or sorry, 50 attacks as well. So they've already refreshed at least once. But their point totals would be different, presumably a little bit lower, but I'm only going to be getting 250 points now. 250 points wouldn't even put me at 2,000, which means if I were to refresh once, instead of getting 4th place, instead of climbing up to 4th place, the best I can do is 23rd, 24. That's way worse. That's way less value. And so this is what I mean by the refreshes not being as valuable, not as attractive anymore, because you're not getting as many points, so you can't move the needle as much in your ranking. Don't get me wrong, I still think there are people who will refresh the MPKBs, in the olden days, the Arthur Vindragons, you know, of Marvel Future Fight, the Davies, I guess. He refreshes a lot these days. So I think there will be players who refresh. Absolutely. There will still be players who are pushing for rank 1, and they'll refresh like crazy, for sure. But they're going to have to refresh as much as before, possibly more than before, and it's just better for everybody else. So I think this is an excellent change. I didn't really speak about the player base that is the most positively affected by this, and that's the casual players. They are absolutely head over heels for this. Oh my gosh, right? I only have to autoplay for 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes a day. Woo! Right? I can get back to my other games or whatever I do on the phone, the hanky-panky, 5 minutes sooner, 10 minutes sooner if you add up both of these, right? So, yeah, I think this is a huge W. I think this is very good. This does help to lessen the complexity of the game, lessen the sort of the punishing difficulty, sort of like punishing, grueling kind of daily grind of the game for casual players, for newer players and stuff like that. There's a lot of PvP game modes now, so minimizing the amount that you have to spend in each one makes sense because there are so many, right? You now have like 3 PvP game modes with dailies, whereas we only used to have 1. But in the last 2 years, they added Otherworld Battle and they added Team Battle Arena. So they've really ramped up the overall daily experience of PvP. So yeah, that's the news today. You've been caught up in Marvel Future Fight. Whoa! Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the Timeline Battle and Team Battle Arena changes. Do you like them? For some reason, if you're an alien, do you not like them? And then also let me know about the Dimension of Heroes worshipped by humankind. Thank you so much for watching the video. Small shout out to the Eternals, who I guess this sneak peek technically could reference, but there's absolutely no way the Eternals are getting anything because they're in the dirt after that movie didn't do so well. And also, they already had an epic quest. So Eternals mentioned, but that's all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.